Hey guys, welcome to my video. I'm gonna put a disclaimer right here. Disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and allegedly only my opinion. I was born and raised in Florida, but I lived in New York for 5 years, so I do have a say, and I'm just trying to speak up for the young people that live in Florida and are struggling right now. I know I'm not the only one, so if you are a young person that is thinking about moving to Florida, please watch this video before you make that decision. If you don't live in Florida, you should still watch this video. It's very important. All right, let's get started. Let's have a hard conversation. I've lived in Florida my entire life. I was born and raised in Florida, and I am so disappointed with how Florida has turned out after COVID-19. Before 2019, Florida used to be a place full of young people. It was way easier to attain a job, and it was just a lot more fun. After leaving to New York for 5 years, I came back to Florida and I was literally shocked at what I was experiencing. I'm gonna share some of what I've experienced with you being a young person living in Florida and how much of a struggle it's been for me. And comment down below if you've ever had a situation or experience like this in Florida. I would love to hear your guys' stories and opinions. Reason number 1, Medicare is extremely expensive and also unattainable. So if you're like me and you're somebody who doesn't have a really high paying job, is still trying to get their degree and wants some Medicare, good luck trying to find something you can afford. I've had issues trying to find Medicare in Florida for years. I actually at some point just gave up completely because I realized that if I wanted to get really good Medicare that was going to cover a lot of what I needed, I would need to pay well over $200 to $250 or more. And no, that is not an exaggeration. I cannot afford that much a month. Another thing I noticed is that in other places like New York, it is way easier to get Medicare for free if you have health bills, which I do. So that's why I had such a problem with living in Florida and having it be so difficult for me to get any kind of free Medicare. I got rejected twice, and let me tell you, I could not stop crying because I didn't know why I was getting rejected. Again, I have medical bills, I have issues, so why was I not getting what I needed? The second reason why young people shouldn't move to Florida is because of the way that they use your tax money. As you guys know, in Florida, they recently just changed the airport in West Palm Beach to the Donald J. Trump Airport. This gets on my nerves specifically because they spent $5.5 million of our tax money to change the name of the airport and to change the branding. Why is this an issue? Because $5.5 million could have been used for so many other things. But the one thing that I think Florida desperately needs is public transportation. If you guys don't know or don't live in Florida, the public transportation in Florida is absolutely awful, which makes the state completely car dependent. Why is this a problem? Because when you go to Florida, you notice something that is pretty much you can't ignore it. Obesity, being overweight and unhealthy, which many people in Florida are. Look, I'm not trying to be mean. I've been a bigger girl, I've been a smaller girl, so I definitely understand the struggle. But Florida's obesity problem is very noticeable, and many people there are unhealthy or struggling with their health. This is because the car dependency has gotten so bad that nobody is walking anywhere. If you go to Florida, you'll see that nobody is walking on the sidewalks and nobody is taking their bikes out. No one is riding scooters. I mean, it's very, very few compared to most other cities. Also, I will add this, that the people that are walking around are usually in the downtown areas, okay? So if you go outside of the downtown areas, this is what I'm talking about. Nobody is using their legs, nobody is exercising, and everyone is just driving around, and it is causing an obesity problem. There, I said it. I know it's controversial, but that is just what it is. Number 3 of why young people shouldn't move to Florida after COVID-19. It is nearly impossible to find a good paying job that is reliable and something you actually want to do. And this goes for all fields, whether you're somebody who's working for $15 an hour or somebody with a 401k salary. Why do I say this? Because my boyfriend has his master's degree in a very lucrative field, and he had to settle for a job that paid him way less in a description or a role, of something he didn't even want to do, and he had to take it because it was the only job really available. I am somebody who works hourly. I do many different things. I'm multifaceted and still have had really, really hard time finding stable work that I actually enjoy. It's been so aggravating that it's caused me to just give up on looking for a job, give up on trusting the job market in Florida. It's really disheartening for youth because we really want to succeed and thrive to be around our families who still live there, but we can't. It kind of forces us to leave because we don't have a choice. So yeah, if you're a young person and you have a really good degree, you could utilize it in so many other states that are actually going to pay you what you deserve and treat you with respect. What do I mean by that? The Florida break laws. If you guys have never looked into the Florida break laws, it is not illegal to not have a break. What does that mean? So basically your employer, which this has happened to me, I have been a victim of this, will literally look you straight in the eyes and say, you are lucky that you're getting any kind of break because I like you, since I don't have to give you a break. And when you look online, you'll see that that's actually true. In Florida, they do not need to give employees over 18 a break. So yeah, keep that in mind as well. They're gonna underpay you and then they're not gonna give you a break, or if they do, it's because they favor you. So yeah. And I think the fourth and final reason why young people shouldn't move to Florida after the pandemic is because there are no young people left there. So because of all of the things I have just stated, it's making it really impossible for young people to stay in Florida. I'm actually thinking about moving in the next year with my boyfriend because of all of these issues that we've been facing and just hitting dead end after dead end. Again, both of our families live in Florida, so this is a really hard decision, but there's nothing that we can do. And there are many other young people in the same exact position as us. Many of our friends are moving or have moved, and many just also are miserable in Florida and don't want to stay. If you look at other cities besides Miami, okay, you're not going to find many young people left. Sadly, this is becoming worse and worse as time goes on. I've noticed it. My friends have noticed it. There's just not a lot of young people left in Florida to party with, to go out with. A lot of times when you go to bars or public spaces, there's going to be a lot of old people, and because the demographic is kind of different, it's going to be a lot of 80s music, a lot of music you don't know. It just causes for like a miserable time. The other thing that I found living in Florida with no young people is like when I go to a yoga class, it's like all old ladies, and like so I can't, and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just saying they don't like fully do the yoga 100% because the old ladies might like hurt themselves. So I'm stuck in a position where I don't get like the full stretch, etc. Like you want to go to a class, it's just going to be older people. If you want to go to a bar, it's just going to be older people. So just keep that in mind when you're living in Florida. It's a lot of older people, and the younger people you're going to find there are not very like, I'm trying to not to come across as rude, but like the younger people that are stuck there are miserable because of all of the problems I just stated. So they're not like really in a good mental place, if that makes any sense. So yeah, there's a lot of just like older people, and then the youth is just non-existent. It really hurts and irks my soul, but that's just the reality of Florida right now. All right, guys, that is the end of my video. I stated all of my reasons, and you can take that and do what you will with it. But yeah, if you are a young person moving to Florida, please consider these things before you move here. There are many other states that'll help you out and will actually give you money and give you Medicare and give you the things that you deserve. You don't have to struggle. So again, if you choose to move here, really think about it, digest this video. I know it's hard to hear, but this is just the truth. Coming from somebody who was born and raised there. I'd love to connect with you guys in the comment section. Please share any of your opinions, any of your comments, any of your experiences. I know I'm not the only one going through this. And also, if you want to put places down below to move to that are like really good right now and really on the up for young people, write it down below so we can get some advice going and we can see where we're going, okay? Because like, where are we going? What are we doing? We gotta move. Bye, guys.